My brief case study was Ali Mohamed. His full name was Ali Abdul Saoud Mohamed. He was born in Egypt on June 3rd, 1952. He was fluent in 4 languages: English, French, Arabic, and Hebrew. He has a bachelor's degree in psychology, and while he was in trial, he claimed to have 2 bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and it is thought that he obtained those during his training in the military. He was an Egyptian Army Special Forces officer. In 1981, he came to Fort Bragg, North Carolina to train with U.S. Special Forces. There he learned new techniques. In 1984, he was dismissed from the Egyptian Army because he was a radical Muslim. He was part of the Egyptian Islamic Jihad terror group that assassinated Egyptian President Anwar Sadat. He openly admitted to the military, the Egyptian army, that he supported the assassination of the president. After he was dismissed from the Egyptian army, he began conducting intelligence operations for the EIJ founder. He was tasked with infiltrating the CIA, and doing that, he just walked into the CIA office in Cairo and offered his services. And although the CIA was warned about his EIJ ties, the CIA saw him as an asset to infiltrate a Hezbollah ring. And the Hezbollah is a party of Allah, and it's a political party and resistance movement. It was just something of interest of us. And when he walked in there, he openly told the leaders that he was an American spy and intended on collecting information. He was let go of his CIA position, and was reportedly put on the State Department's watch list to prevent his re-entry into the United States. Although he was on the watch list, in 1985 he re-entered the United States on a commercial flight. He married a California woman and gained citizenship in 1986, and shortly after he gained citizenship, he enlisted in the United States Army and was stationed back in Fort Bragg again, in the Special Warfare Center. While he was there, he continuously stole top-secret documents, translated them to Arabic. Some of the documents he stole were weapons manuals and bomb-making manuals. He obtained access information about all the locations of Special Forces and Navy SEAL units worldwide as well. While he was in the Egyptian army, he went to Afghanistan and started fighting with the Soviets, and there he met bin Laden, and this is where he began his ties with Al-Qaeda. While he was stationed in Fort Bragg, while he was in the U.S. Army, he took many trips to New York to train Al-Qaeda cell members. He trained the men that were convicted in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing and the terror plot to blow up several other New York City targets. Later, that was unsuccessful. He trained bodyguards for Osama bin Laden, and he also planned and trained many other men and many other acts of terror throughout his career with the Al-Qaeda. He was employed as an FBI informant, and while he was employed as an FBI informant, he made many trips to Afghanistan and handled security for bin Laden and his entourage. This is just a little timeline of things that happened while he was recruited as an FBI informant while he was in the United States Army. In 1991 to 1992, he made many trips abroad to help bin Laden and his entourage make a dangerous move to Sudan. In 1993, he helped train Ramzi Toussef, who carried out the first successful attack on the World Trade Center. He was arrested also in 1993 by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police while trying to bring Al-Qaeda terrorists into Canada, although he called in his FBI guys and they let him go. The jihadists trained by Mohamed were sent to Somalia in the Black Hawk Down incident, which led to 18 U.S. Army deaths. In 1994, he went to Nairobi, Kenya to plan the U.S. Embassy bombing that took place 4 years later. He planned the embassy bombing in Nairobi and Tanzania. He gave bin Laden security photographs of these embassies and brought al-Qaeda leaders into the United States with fake passports. In 1995, he obtained a list of the 172 unindicted co-conspirators of the Day of Terror trial. The Day of Terror was the planned attack on the multiple New York City places that was unsuccessful. He gave a copy of the list to warn bin Laden of all of the people who were being watched by the FBI or were considered people of danger. And himself and bin Laden were on the Ali Mohamed was arrested after the truck and embassy bombings in Kenya and Tanzania. These were bombings that he had planned on September 10th, 1998. It took him 18 months to get a plea bargain from Mohamed. They kept him in Manhattan Federal Jail for 9 months on a John Doe warrant. A John Doe warrant is basically like an anonymous warrant. The FBI said that they put him on a John Doe warrant because they were embarrassed of word getting out that this person that they held so close and used as an asset had done all of these terrible, terrible things and betrayed them so badly. Although it was mentioned that he stayed faithful and never betrayed his al-Qaeda ties, he eventually pled guilty to conspiracy to kill nationals of the United States, conspiracy to murder, kidnap, and maim. The trial continued, but there was no record of any sentencing or conviction. On February 20th, 2002, CBS News reported that Mohamed had pled guilty and was awaiting sentencing, currently in federal custody at an unspecified location. It was mentioned in a couple of articles that I read that it is possible that he is being kept in custody while also remaining an informant because he knows so much about all of these acts of terror. They believe that there isn't any known information, but there are theories that he's being kept in custody and remaining a informant to the FBI. Shortly after the 9/11 attacks happened at the World Trade Center on 9/11, they went to his cell and he gave the FBI a list, basically like lined out exactly what was going to happen, as if he knew, because he did know and he helped plan the whole thing. So he is considered very valuable with all of the information he has. Possible reasons for espionage. It was mentioned that he had very radical religious views. He was a member of the EIJ, and he was dismissed from the Army for being radically religious. It is known that most people in Al-Qaeda, or all people in Al-Qaeda, are very radically religious, and I think he was just doing what he thought was right and what he believed what should be happening. He was extremely intelligent. It was known that he had a psychology degree, so he knew exactly how to manipulate people, and all of his actions were very well thought out, which makes me think that he might be a little antisocial because he shows absolutely no remorse for all these awful and terrible things that he planned and did. It is said that he had steel nerves and was very audacious. So he was very well held together. It was also mentioned in a couple of articles that he seemed to be very kind and very friendly, so at least face to face. so he was able to manipulate people very well. If I was going to be interviewing him, I would ask what his relationship with his parents was. There wasn't much personal background or personal history on him. That would probably be able to help me and other people figure out why he decided to turn and do these terrible things. I would ask about how he felt about planning and facilitating all of these attacks that led to the deaths of so many people. I would just curious to know his true feelings. I would want to know what his relationship with Osama bin Laden was like. It was mentioned that he was very close and he was pretty much his number 2 guy, but I just want to know was it a very strong personal relationship or was it strictly business? I don't know. I just want to know some details about that. And I just want to know why or how he became so radically religious. What led up to him becoming so strong and having such strong feelings about his religion. And those are my references. And that's it.